koyu salama ko jabilay wo newa isa fal yo salama lay jil tayori gambia nge nane wana
ay bura man tire wa way bura man tire yaay ku weddi seet
mayram jamalay yoy mayram nayonay jame dañi salibo yaaya jame moy sabay yese na moy sayay yoy bura man ci rew way bura man ci rew jame ku weddi seet
yo lay lela la bura man tire wa way bura man tire yaay ku weddi seet
lay la la musa jimbi njaay yo madaray sabay sena meri patelay e way salum bey way yey sa jawaray way bura man ci rew maam ku weddi se
yoy bura man ci rew way bura man ci rew yaay ku weddi se
man de dayonay ibatawul dayonay lay la ibatawul dayonay ya way bura man ci rew yaay ku weddi se
yoy bura man ci rew way bura man ci rew yaay ku weddi se
waaw tey moom ñoom sali nag day xalal tardé rek waaye réewi Gambie ni ma leen ko def faral du baxee rek bëggoon naa ñu gën a dal di def ba mbaax ñu baalu wante yéen aha ndax wax naa leen ne at bu jot rek foog ñu bëggee leen ndax yéen dafa am foo leen toll ci ñun ba nga xam ne ne foog rek ñu dal di dem bëjee waaye suñ ne déwee nati lii na di su ñàkk a mukk ndax bëggoon nañ saa yu nekk di leen bëggal ndax suñ ne Gambie radio and television services askan bi ñun ñooy bëti réew mi te ñun ñooy noppi réew mi dafa dañ ci am wàlla yéen ngeen am ci wàll ba tax na yéen sali maa ngi leen naan déwee nati leen di leen ñaanal yenn suñ jàmm ji nga xam ne ni moom lañ sexa yàlla yàggal ko xam naa ne du fi am dinañ dal di defar yeneen yu neex su ko defee yéen i tamit ngeen dal di ñëw ñu dal di def rek fii la rek fii ci Gambia radio and television services la waa faaye ko ba tax na nag di gërëm ñi nga xam ne ñëpp ñoo nekkoon fii ñu ne na wateef bi egsi na ci ndong li sali bëggoon nañ ngeen gën a dal di def bemba waaye di bëggee ki nga xam ne mooy Modou Koor patama si ki nga xam ne ñooy Mama Jee ñëpp musóor gi nag moo pare sànnee ko waaye nag du tere rek maa ngi leen di bëggee bu baax a baax yéen ñi nga xam ne yéen ak ñoo seetaan ba pare na di leen ñaanal fan ak wér technicien yi yëpp ñoom Ibrahima Sala laayoo ki nga xam ne mooy Sala Sabirin waaye Mama Jee dama bëgg a sali ñu ñaanal ko yàlla may ko jëkkër jigéen ci moom ba nga xam ne ñu ni tamit GRTS dinañ ko dem fekki dal di defa moom rek bem baax waaye nag di bëggee ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk master control room di ñaanal GRTS ñëpp jaama incha allah na du fi am dañ ne Tabaski la rek su ko defee rek ñu dal di def bem jeex yéen a war a lool lii yëpp waaye nag dinañ ñëwaat dal di defaat yeneen yu ne fii ci Gambia radio and television services la seen xarit la woon Maam Jeng Sali jërë ngeen jëf.
lay dëgg Maam Jeng.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome again to Discovering Truth, and I am Pastor Forbes of Abiding Word Ministries. We have successfully finished our 10-part series that was quite long, 2.5 months, on the life of Jonah, and where we looked about all the kinds of things that can happen to us in life, the most important being that we should obey what God tells us to obey. Another one being that we should remember that we stand before God at the end of our life's journey in eternity, and nobody can help us when we stand before God. We looked at many different instances in Jonah's life which we felt could relate to our personal lives in the 21st century. So we've put that series to a rest, and in terms of speaking, but trusting that the lessons we learn live with us in our journey of discovering the truth of life for us, especially as released to us through God in Jesus Christ. There's a scripture I want to look at, and I'll just speak concerning it because it relates to a lot of things that are going on in my life, in my heart, because in a little under 3 weeks, Abiding Word Ministries will be celebrating 25 years, and all the people that I've spoken to in country and out of this country feel like it's too short. Are you sure it's 25 years? I said, yes, it's 25 years. Are you really sure? I said, it's 25 years from 1988 to now. It's 25 years, and a lot goes on in your mind when you think about that, because it's a Silver Jubilee celebration. I am also very close to my own Golden Jubilee, and it's amazing how life can go on, maybe unobserved, sometimes celebrated, sometimes in mountaintop and valley situations. But the key thing is what you choose to view life from, the lens, the perspective, the worldview, the angle you look at it from. I know people who probably look at life from a very positive angle, so everything is an opportunity, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback they rise up. I always remember seeing these stickers on cars in West Africa, particularly in Nigeria. You'll see a sticker that says, the downfall of a man is not the end of his life, or the downfall of a woman is not the end of her life, and you laugh at it, but that's so much truth in it, because there is a scripture correlating to that in the book of Micah, where it says, rejoice not over me, my enemy, for if I fall, I shall rise again. If I'm down, God shall pick me up. And then there are other people who look at life from the opposite of positive, from a negative. Everything that comes their way is bad, is negative, is evil. And sometimes with people like that, even while you try to encourage them that it's not as bad as you think, it's not as evil as you think, this is not the end of the road, it's not the last bus stop, life is not over, they find it difficult to just view life from another angle. So what is positive looks negative to them, what is negative looks terribly negative to them, and they just live life through that. 1 year becomes 5 years, 5 years become a decade, and a decade becomes 2 decades, and they look back and wonder, what have I done? We are immensely grateful to God as a church in Abiding Word Ministries, and come November 7th to the 10th, we are celebrating our 25th anniversary in our usual Abiding Word way, in a grand style, and we are glad to be bringing a very globally known Christian worship praise singer known as Alvin Slaughter, coming to just celebrate with us and be the main guest physically of what we do. But as all those things go through my mind, and anybody who plans events like that can imagine the level of planning, the pressure of the planning in so many spheres of planning. But you look back and you ask yourself, has it really been 25 years? Yes. Some people say, well, you don't look it. You don't look old. Well, thank God if that is true. And some people, I've had people tell me that's not possible. A friend of mine in South Africa said to me, that means I last saw you 15 years ago. I said yes, because he was opportune to be one of 3 preachers who graced our 10th anniversary in 2003. And so he said, I last saw you 15 years ago or thereabout. And I said, yep, that's true. And so in life, whether we move or we do not move, life moves. And life tends to move us. Situations tend to move us. Events tend to move us, whether they are global events, continental events, sub-regional events, national events, family events, just environmental events, or events that we create by our activity or inactivity, by our deliberate engineering of the future of our lives, or by just being inactive and just allowing life to drift us. Whatever happens, time would go on. As you've probably heard me say on this program, sometimes when you want to encourage people to go to school again or to take a course, especially people who are married, particularly married women, you know, they're married now with 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, and, you know, they talk to you and they say, Pastor Forbes, you know, one of my dreams was to do an MBA. And then you tell them that, why don't you go and do it? Oh, well, you know, I have 4 children. If I go and do an MBA, I'm now 34. By the time I finish, maybe I'll be 37, you know. And we are quick to tell them that, you know, you're 34 now. Whether you do an MBA or you do not do an MBA, in 3 years' time, you will be 37. So why don't you let those 3 years count in proactivity, in productivity, in something that you can hold and maybe leverage for a better life quality? And so as I speak from my heart, and we are grateful as a church